Okay, this is what I marked on my packet. I noted here that there are certain things that it's commitment to 2 years that you get the big boost, but there are 1 year benefits, and that you're more likely to graduate from college and to volunteer. And then in terms of your 2 year benefits, you've got having a job and earning more money. And then, I wrote down here that it's not about going pro. So it's not that you have to be great at your extracurricular, it's that you have to stick with your extracurricular. Yes? So that is it. And I underlined a few things. Most of what I underlined are in this right here. Now, here is the trick. If I immediately start reading Haynes, I am then going to shove everything in my brain at the same time. And I am going to increase the chance that I'm going to get confused between the two readings. And I'm going to do something stupid like write. Thompson says improving social skills is one of the biggest advantages of extracurricular activities. Does Thompson say that? No. Guess who says that? Haynes. If I read both articles at once without stopping and doing any sort of brainstorming, I'm going to get the two readings confused, and I'm going to say something foolish in my paper. So, to minimize the chance of me being an accidental idiot, because heavens knows I've done it when I'm writing, I am going to go to the back page. You see how I have space? In the PBA, they gave you brainstorming space. And I am only going to use the top half of this. So write small and don't take this whole space because I'm using the bottom half for something else. So let's stick with the top half. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to brainstorm what are my general topics. Why is it important for me to keep track of my topics? Because topics turn into topic sentences. I'm really searching for what are my topic sentences. So I need to know what are the big general topics. And I need to split them up between what are the big general topics that Thompson covers versus what are the big general topics that Haynes covers. Okay. I don't know Haynes yet, but I need to brainstorm this while I still have Thompson clear in my mind so that I don't get the two readings confused. So, Thompson, what are the big general topics? What does he say are the benefits to extracurricular activities? Okay, we're being quiet this morning. Right now, turn to your group members, take 60 seconds. I want you to tell me 3 big general areas that Thompson says extracurriculars help kids. Go. Okay. Give me a general topic, not a specific piece of evidence, but a general topic that Thompson talks about. Okay, grit, which is also known as determination. So stick with an extracurriculars and you learn grit. You learn to stick with it even when it's tough, even when you're struggling to learn that play, even when you're struggling to land to land a new move, even when you're struggling to learn a new part. If you stick with it, you learn that it's okay to struggle and that you will get through to the other side. It's fine. Give me another big topic. Success where? Because he talks about 2 different kinds of success. Success in school. He talks about grades. He talks about better discipline records. Talks about a lot of stuff regarding the school. But what else does he talk about success in? Yes, life success or future success. Talks about graduating from college, talks about unemployment, income. Okay, anything else? Okay, those seem to be three pretty big things. And so now, as we read Haynes, what are we looking for? Do we have things that connect, that match up? Because in a perfect world, we need to, in a body paragraph, use evidence from both. And here's what I'm going to tell you. Junior year, if a body paragraph does not have evidence from both, it's failing. Period, full stop, the end. On the PBA, if you give me a body paragraph and it only uses information from one source, that's a C. You're freshman. Not going to fail you on it, but are you going to get a great grade if you're pulling from one source? Because research should be integrating information from different places together. So I am putting 12 minutes on the clock. In 12 minutes, I want you to identify any unfamiliar vocab. If you know all the words, that's fine. I'm not terribly surprised. But if you don't know something like intrinsic, please write it down. I want you to write down what are the general topics that are being covered. What do I want you to underline? Things that would make great quote fragments. You have 12 minutes on the clock. I want you to mark up pages 6 and 7. Go. 12 minutes on the timer. That is more than enough time. We are not reading Shakespeare, and we are not reading the Shakespeare packet with the historical documents. 5 minutes? You guys need 5 minutes, or are you ready to go quicker? Yeah, I'll check in with you in 3 minutes and see whether you guys want to go. Okay, 2 minutes left. Are you guys ready to go, or do you want to keep working? Ready? Okay. And let's make that go on. Okay. Now we're going to, after we mark everything up, and I assume that you guys have marked all yours up. I actually have mine marked up. I noticed that they're talking about work ethic here. And why did I put grit in parentheses? Yeah, the way he's talking about work ethic sounds a lot like the way Thompson talked about grit. So I do think they connect. But here he's pulling up social skills that I did not see before in the other one. And then you develop actual skills that you are not bored enough to get in trouble. Now let's take a look at that for a second. Do I believe for a minute that kids get in trouble because they're too bored and teachers haven't given them enough work? I don't. Because honestly, most of the kids that get themselves in trouble, they've got like a whole pile of work they're supposed to be doing. And instead they choose not to do it. That's another issue. But here's the deal. If I substitute my personal opinion for what the evidence says, what will happen to my grade in the essay? Oh, I will get slammed hard. Because this is about learning to use sources effectively. I don't get to substitute. Well, I don't agree with that. Dude, you're reading research. So maybe you just got to suck it up and use the information that's there. By the way, some of you are like craning around. The desks are not glued to the floor. You can scoot them around so that you have a better view of the board. You know this, yes? Take 30 seconds to scoot if you want to scoot. Desks are not glued. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There you go. You guys don't have to wait for permission to move a desk. It's a desk. It can move. Okay, they talk here about the adult-student bond, like with coaching. I didn't see anything like that in Thompson. The motivation to increase grades. Yep, some of that academic success, that you learn skills. You then have this whole section about yearbooks, and I underlined absolutely nothing in here. Why would I not use this section on yearbooks?
It's not going to do with your topic.
Rhetoric is an author making choices to try and connect with his reader. And using yearbook to me is such a weird rhetorical choice. What percentage of extracurricular kids are in yearbook? Like 1%. Like, dude, you couldn't talk about sports. You couldn't talk about the creative fields, the arts. I think you would have more kids in any of those. So I'm not going to talk about yearbook because that's such a small, itty bitty, tiny portion of extracurriculars. I almost feel like it would distract from the fact that any extracurricular will give skills. So I'm probably not going to use anything in here. And then learn discipline and routine and structure. That again sounds like grit. So once I have everything marked up, where do I go? To the back. I am now looking for what topics are Haynes covering. You tell me, what topics does Haynes cover? Does he cover grit? Yeah, what does he call it? Structure and determination. I think he calls it work ethic at one point, but it's the same thing. Does he cover success in school? Yes, he does. Does he cover success in life or in the future? No. We don't see anything about jobs, about college, about income, about university completion. So we really don't see that. But what topic do we see that we did not see in Thompson? Social skills. And you're still only using the top half, correct? Okay. I've got two topics that very quickly I would have a very, very balanced body paragraph if I went to do them. What are the two very balanced body paragraphs I would have? Grit, determination, and success in school. And I could write those very quickly, very easily. But wait, time out. What if I'm saying to myself, oh my gosh, look, school is about preparing you for the future and helping kids be successful and having, completing college and being less likely to be unemployed and, having higher income. These are what really matter. Can I write a paragraph about future success? Maybe. I've got two options. If I write it and I only rely on Thompson, what am I going to get on the body paragraph? C. Now, if my other body paragraph's an A, it might still average out to a B, but maybe you're thinking, that's not feeling good. What else can I do? Well, I know that Thompson spends a lot of time talking about future success. Yes? Can I find anything in Haynes that connects to future success? Go back into Haynes and look specifically for little quotes that relate to future success. You got to be looking at the reading for this. Yes.
I believe the last paragraph where it says routine and structure, it builds structure so that you get used to a routine and that can help in your future.
Okay, does it specify in the future? Yeah, no, but yes. Yamil, you found something. Okay, what page are you on? 6? Paragraph? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 5th. Okay, I was going to say, I'm not seeing it. Okay. He does reference things as life lessons. Says they're headed towards success. But he's talking there about the group. So I can't misinterpret what he is saying and suggest that that is an individual is headed towards success. That's a group. Okay, anything else? Let's see. Last hour found a line that says carry with them for a lifetime. Does anyone see that? Where is it?
Page 7.
7.
No, it's 6.
Okay, 6, second paragraph. Carry with them for a lifetime. Now, are those really full enough, complete enough to be evidence by themselves? Probably not, no. But here is what we can do. First of all, we can write the life or future success just based off Thompson and say, dude, we're going to get a C, but we don't care because we find this important. Or we can do this. Do me a favor, this bottom section, leave about 2/3 of the column because we're going to be outlining a paper, and then 1/3 we're going to take some notes on how we can slip in evidence to make sure that we're using both sources. So we start with a topic sentence. So extracurriculars are important in helping students find future success. Would that be a good topic sentence? Yes. And then I would need 2 different why or how statements because I would have 2 different arguments. So it would help them with skills for the future and it would help them be more successful monetarily in the future. They finish college, they get higher jobs, spend less time unemployed. That would be, I would have to just define what my 2 arguments are. But here is the trick. Maybe in this first argument, everything comes from Thompson. We know Thompson is where we're going to get most of our information, yes? So maybe this first argument is in fact completely from Thompson. Maybe the second argument comes mostly from Thompson. Like the real meat of it is in fact coming out of that first article. But then maybe I throw a sentence in there. Something like Haynes even suggests that these life lessons will stay with students forever. That's from 6, right? Is that from 6? Is that 7? Somebody find it for me. Where did life lessons come from? 6. Now, is that little bit of quote enough to really act as evidence for this whole argument? No. So it's a little bit of a cheap shot that I've just pulled Haynes in as kind of an extra bit. But guess what that means? It's not a C because I've used both sources. And this paragraph now has the option to become an A. Now, junior year, that kind of cheap shot may not work as well. But do some of my juniors on their AP test still take this kind of cheap shot? Yes. Will this be enough to keep their paragraph from failing? Yes. Yeah, it will. So, can we do the same thing with social skills? Are there some little quotes in Thompson that if we go back in, we could find places where Thompson is not really focusing on social skills, but could we find some little quotes that kind of pull towards social skills? Yes, we could. We absolutely could. And what that means is we have 2 paragraphs that would be very, very balanced, and that is grit and school success. And we have 2 paragraphs that we could use, but we would have to work harder to make sure that we're using both sources because they would rely greatly on one source or the other. And that is future success would lean largely on Thompson. Social skills would lean largely on Haynes, but they're both doable. We would just have to work to make sure that we're pulling some little bits in so that we are getting both sources. Make sense? Okay, here's what I want you to do, and you guys have got like 3 minutes because we are running out of time. What I want you to do is I want you looking at these 4 possible topics. I want you to write the topic sentences that would become your essay if you were going to write an essay on this. Now, you may have 2 topic sentences because you're like, dude, there are 2 important ideas that I want to discuss and focus in on. You may have 3 topic sentences because you're like, dude, there are 3 things I want to write about. Would you use all 4 of these? No. Like, dude, we're just getting to be too much. No. What order should you put these 3 things in? Strong, stronger, strongest. I want you to write your 2 or 3 topic sentences, but here's the trick. I want you leaving space in between because we're going to add something in between your topic sentences. Got it? Feel free to work with a neighbor. You got 2 minutes. Write me 2 or 3 topic sentences. Go. 2 or 3, get them done. And I am going to look for you to have an outline before you start typing, because you need a roadmap before you're going, because otherwise sometimes you get lost. And even my AP kids do that. My AP kids will they'll forget to outline, and they will be halfway through timed writing and they'll be like, holy Hannah, where was I going with this? I don't remember what I'm doing. Write your roadmap down. Now, we're going to add one more thing to this outline. Now, by the way, are your topic sentences in the same order? Probably not, because this order represents what I believe is most important. Yours should be in the order that represents what you believe is most important. So this has to be your choice about how you're ordering it. But here's a question. The regular kids, do you think the regular students are ordering things intentionally? Or do you think they're just plopping down what they think of next? They're probably plopping. You need to make it clear that you are not plopping, especially because as freshmen, sometimes people do forget that you guys are capable of brilliant writing. So remind them. What I'm going to look for on every topic sentence after the first is going to be a transition. And that transition has to tell me that you are increasing in importance because you have intentionally ordered these paragraphs. Every topic sentence after the first must have it. And you can do that in one of two ways. The first is you can add simply a transitional word or phrase, something like an even more critical reason is, or it could be something as simple as more importantly. So it can be a long phrase or a short one, but one is to do a transitional phrase. Now let's talk about the other way. The other way is to do a bridge, and you're used to doing bridges and intros. And a bridge always references the top before it continues to the bottom, correct? So include a phrase on the beginning that references the previous paragraph. More significant than, what's my last body paragraph about? What's my previous body paragraph about? More significant than grit is that students who participate in extracurriculars will be more successful in the future. So a bridge will reference the previous paragraph. And you can see it here. More important than work ethic is that. And then the previous paragraph is work ethic. You can see it here. Even more important than school success. What's the previous paragraph? Successful in school. So a bridge will always reference the previous paragraph. A transitional phrase could be long or short. So here we did a short one. More importantly, last hour we had an even more critical reason for taking extracurriculars is that they teach students to have a better work ethic. So transitional phrases can be long or short. But I want to see a transition on each of the topic sentences after your first. And I need to stop talking because we have dear time, drop everything and read. But before we turn to dear time, I want to tell you about this paragraph here. If you hate the grade you got on the Shakespeare paragraph, you cannot rewrite that. What you can do is write this. If you write the paragraph that, or the essay that you just outlined for this practice PBA, I will erase your Shakespeare essay, and I will put the grade that you turn in, the essay that you turn in for this, I will put it in the grade book under Shakespeare. On the theory that you may have struggled on the Shakespeare essay, not because you were struggling with writing, but because you were struggling with Shakespeare, the play. So you can write this and replace Shakespeare altogether if you're not liking your grade. Deal? You have 60 seconds to get the desk back in order and